Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video here for the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 18. I am now one away, as 19 was the most recent episode posted, so I plan on catching up today, and then this Friday I'll be starting watching weekly for the first time ever. It's pretty hype. Last episode, Mao Mao has now officially been kidnapped. It is so much has gone on the past two episodes. In all honesty, both my previous reactions were insanely long, but Mao Mao has now been taken to some other part of the country, some other part of the continent. We don't know where, upstream, downstream. We're not entirely sure, but she was taken up a river or something like that. And she's now in some village where Suide and Shisui have apparently been staying. Like, everybody knows them there. So there's something going on there. The envoys are here. So I mean, this is huge what Mao Mao's walking into here. This is like a huge convention for people who want to take out the current bloodline. And so last episode I put together the stuff about the kind of gaps that I was missing in my theory for that lady from episode 10 to be Suide's mother. I filled them in. It could be confirmed that I'm wrong. God knows I've been wrong on this series before. Cough cough. The last couple reactions of season 1. But basically I think you can go watch the reaction. I'll put it like that, because otherwise I'm gonna end up talking about it for like 10 minutes. I'll give you a very baseline here. Mama Suide hooked up with Shisho. Don't know what the circumstances were, but she had sex with Shisho, got pregnant, and birthed Suide. So Suide is a illegitimate child of Shisho because Mama Suide, having been and dealt with the previous emperor, was no longer like a concubine or anything. She was just forced to stay in the real palace. And so Shisho had sex with her. She had a baby, that baby being Suide. And so Suide is kind of an illegitimate child, unlike Shisui or Lolan, who is an official child of Shisho and assumingly one of Shisho's concubines, who we have not met yet. We have not met, I'm assuming it's Shisho's wife, that we see in the OP, and Lolan's mother. We have not met her yet, but presumably that is where she comes from. So Shisui is more a legitimate child, but Shisui refers to Suide as a sister last episode, which that's what pinned the connection together for me. They're half-sisters, essentially. If my theory is correct, like I said, could be wrong, but if my theory is correct, the two of them are half-sisters. And then we met another kid, whose name I haven't fully committed to memory, but we met another kid, and he also called them sisters, but I can't tell if it's just like a form of like a respect, like a kid talking to like an older girl in his life, calling her like Nesima or something like that, or if they are legitimate sisters in that he is another one of Shisho's children from maybe a different concubine or something like that. I'm not quite sure about the circumstances for that entirely yet, but I'm sure we'll find out here as we go forward in this episode. JINSHI is continuing his search to try and find Mao Mao, but to be honest, I'm not sure how. The only way he could find out what happened with Mao Mao is if he figures out how Shenlu's involved, because Shenlu would know that Mao Mao was sent through the secret passage and probably shipped down a river or something like that. Like, Mao Mao at this point is so far away from JINSHI. Like, it's gonna be crazy for him to try and find her. So, and also Mao Mao's completely just blank attitude about all of this. Like, she's just going with the flow. She is not remotely stressed or anything like that. She is just, whatever happens, happens. I mean, she still interacts super casually with Suide and Shisui. Like, she threw a snake in front of Suide to test her theory about Suide and Shisui knowing each other and things like that. She threw a snake in front of her. If Mao Mao was remotely scared for her own life, I don't think she would throw a snake in front of her kidnapper. But I mean, yeah, Mao Mao just, we already know that Mao Mao doesn't really care for her own life at all, but it's the lives of others is when she starts to care, and things like that, when her sense of justice is poked and prodded, as they said in episode 1, her minute sense of justice, or whatever the words they used were. But yeah, and what do you know, I've ended up yapping for 5 minutes, even though I said I was going to keep it short. There's just so much that has happened over the past 2 episodes. Sincerely, so much shit has gone on, so yeah. Anyway, we're gonna see where we go from here. But yeah, I think I got everything I wanted to talk about. And yeah, we should catch up today. So, per usual, feel free to check out the Patreon and Discord. Links are in the description below. As far as the Discord goes, we talk about current anime, past anime, current manga, past manga, and have non-anime conversations as well. And as far as the Patreon goes, you get exclusives and uncuts to all my reactions. So, feel free to check out either of those of your own will. Now, that further Wow. Without further ado, let's hop straight into the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 18. Oh, we're picking up with JINSHI at the start of this one. His search for her is still continuing. He's been getting more and more antsy, as we've seen. He's had to like rein it in and try and act like a proper noble and everything, but he's very clearly getting more and more distressed from it. Oh my god. Gyokyo is literally giving birth and Mao Mao is just not here to help. At least we are. I'm glad Luomin's here. The actual birth to be a little later, but we're getting ready anyway. Damn, so much is going on. She's giving birth right as Mao Mao just flat out disappears. Oh, hello, Luomin. C-section happened to be done or anything like that? She's stable. Her contractions have subsided and she doesn't seem to be fatigued. Okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I had a full faith that even if it was a breech pregnancy, Luomin would be able to help, but her life would still be at risk, hugely, even if you have a huge professional like Luomin. Back then, shit like that, your life would be at risk no matter what procedure, like, any procedure like that done, your life is at risk. And so, really good to hear that the baby rotated itself on its own. Perfect. 10 days! Oh my god! Holy shit. Surprisingly, she's actually doing perfectly okay. Nobody's even remotely harmed her and she has just been freely roaming around with Shisui and Suide. But of course JINSHI doesn't know that, so he's literally just getting more and more agitated and antsy as the days pass. Oh my god. Just look after the cat. I feel bad for the quack doctor. I mean, I kind of feel bad, but also like it's your job, but he's freaking out. I think he's freaking out because last time there was a baby situation, Lihua lost her baby and he was like very badly shamed because of it. Someone else more panicked than me around. You got information on Mao Mao? It's about the missing eunuch, yeah. Yeah, because Shisui, a person who was never registered as a servant girl here, because of course she wasn't, because she's Lowland, and then you have a young eunuch that all the servant girls were talking about and like obsessing over disappeared, and Mao Mao disappeared, all at the same exact time. Eunuch is named Tian. Obviously Suide using a fake name. We're acquainted with him. We barely have any information on him. We've seen praying at a shrine. We did see Suide at that grave site at the end of episode 15. The graveyard on the north side. Yep, that is exactly where we saw Suide. Was she at like her... Because they wouldn't make a grave for just like some random court lady out there. It was like 8 very specific graves out there. The graves of those who were oh shit. That's what that place is. And Suide was out there. Okay, this just furthers my information on why Suide is doing what she's doing. This literally just furthers my information on why Suide is doing what she's doing. I mean, she's doing this to get revenge for her mother and all the people who were whose lives were destroyed by the previous emperor, the previous emperor's reign. Though to be fair, while I do agree the previous emperor was hugely at fault, also families at the time for political gain were literally sending off their own 10-year-old daughters. Also, those families who did that are fucking disgusting. It's just such a bad situation because the previous emperor is bad, really, really bad. And then you take the fucking the families that were sending their daughters there as well. They're equally as bad. They are equally as horribly evil. Like, it's such a bad situation. And I've already talked about my opinion on the previous emperor. Everything he did is completely inexcusable, but there is understanding behind why it happened, if that makes any sense. Nothing that he did is remotely excusable, but we do have an understanding of why it occurred through his trauma, clear trauma and things like that. So in a way, I almost want to say the families sending their own daughters there, knowing what would happen, are worse. Honestly, I want to say those families are worse. Nah, I can't do that. The whole situation's bad. Everything's bad. Everything about everything there is just so bad. But if Suide is there, like at that gravesite, like paying respects to those people, that just furthers my opinion on why she's doing this to get revenge on the previous bloodline. And obviously, the reason she's teaming up with Shisho and Shisho's daughter Shisui is because they happen to be siblings, but also because their goals align. I still don't want to fully believe that Shisui is an enemy. I still don't know if I fully believe that Shisui is just completely on their side. She hadn't really done anything to dissuade my opinion of that. I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard to pick. They keep playing with my emotions with Shisui, in all honesty. But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, because we know that Shisho is part of the Mother Royal's bloodline because of the color blindness, and so it's not far-fetched to assume that Shisho wants to usurp the throne from the current emperor's lineage because he believes he is the rightful throne holder because he has the Mother Royal's blood in him, and Suide is using Shisho's motivation as Shisho's end goal. She doesn't care if Shisho takes over the throne. She just wants to ruin her and her mother. We don't really know how Mama Suide is involved with this at all yet. We only really saw her in episode 10. But those two are involved particularly with Shisho because it helps them reach their ends meet as well with taking down the current bloodline, royal bloodline. Yep. They're showing this exact scene of her being there. In respects to one of the graves there. Come on, translate it for me. What the fuck, man? I want to know. Somebody's got to tell me what that says. There's clearly something etched into the rock there, and they didn't translate it. Even after death. Damn, they literally, yeah, they buried their bodies in the rear palace. Even after death, they were trapped in this hell. They vanished in this garden. Oh shit, hello Shinlu. What might you be doing here? I mean, it makes sense that Shinlu would pay her respects because she is also one of the people who were, you know, assaulted by the previous emperor. She's one of the people as well. That's why she's stuck in the clinic in the first place. We also talked about it a lot in the Discord after I finished my reactions for the last two episodes. But because Anshi has been said to, she was the one who established the clinic in the first place, and she was also said to visit it frequently. We kind of went back and forth about whether Anshi knows about the ongoing plot to take out the current emperor's bloodline and things like that, or if she doesn't know. And I think I talked about it in my reaction itself, but I lean more towards the side of she either doesn't know or isn't working with them, because I want to lean more towards she doesn't know at all. Because if she knew, I feel like she would say something. Because as much as she disliked the previous emperor, which I don't even really think she did, of course she hated his guts for like him discarding her and everything, but half of her backstory was her basically like pleading for him to look at her. And like that doesn't scream I hate your guts to me. Even if I really don't want to dive into this again because it's going to take a while. But even if she hated him for the one thing of like discarding her, I don't know if she ever really hated him in that sense. And especially because I don't think she hates her son, the current emperor, and she doesn't hate Jinshi either. So going along with like Shenlu, Suide, and theirs plan to like ruin and kill the emperor, all the concubines, babies, and everything like that, that doesn't make any sense. So I just don't think, it doesn't make remote sense for Anshi to be on their side. Nothing we have shown shows her to hold any contempt towards her own family. Like, and by family I mean Jinshi, the current emperor, etc. She seems to love and care for them. So going against them and trying to ruin their lives would make no sense. So I either think she doesn't know, that's that part. She doesn't know at all, but she just visits here frequently because, like I said last episode, or maybe it's the previous episode, she wants to give the servant girls and the court ladies who are stuck here, she wants to give them a purpose in that they can help people and help some of the other ladies in waiting and things like that throughout the rear palace, so they can help nurse them back to health and help illnesses and things like that. She wants to give them a purpose. And so that doesn't innately mean that she comes here to talk plans with them, like that she's in on everything going on. I highly doubt that. The only thing that could maybe hint towards her knowing what's going on is her warning Jinshi about Mao Mao. She basically, the line was something like, hide your favorites or else someone will hide them from you, which is a super vague, like, to me, it sounds more like an overall general, like, be careful. Like, you are who you are in a high up position. If you have someone close to you, you should hide your favorites, hide Mao Mao before someone else does it because they're coming after you because of your high up position. It doesn't feel like Anshi knows anything. That's just my opinion. Even if she does frequent this place, it, number one, doesn't make sense for her to go along with their plans. If she knew something, I feel like she would immediately say something to the current emperor or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And like, all in all, my bottom line theory is I don't think Anshi knows anything. I think she frequents here because she made this place to give these women a purpose here in the River Palace. She frequents it. She's probably good friends with them, but I don't think she knows what their plan is. But Anshi's also incredibly smart. So there's also, like I said, I got two theories. I already detailed what both of them were. Two theories about Anshi in this scenario, but I don't know if she's going to become an important character here or not. I just wanted to get that out there because we talked about that a lot in like the formation of the clinic and how involved is Anshi and things like that. Oh, Shinlu tried to nope out of there immediately. The smell. It's oh my god, Jinshi smells it on her. Oh fuck, that's right, because Mao Mao had brought it to her, and that's a strong fucking smell. It's been 10 days though. Oh, but she's probably using it. That's right. Because Mao Mao said they apprehended the alcohol off of her, right? So she's probably been using it because Mao Mao brought it to her. Oh, that was a huge mistake. Because I was like, it's been 10 days, there's no way she hasn't washed her clothes and things like that. But she's probably still actively using it because Mao Mao was going to give it to her, but then ended up, you know, being forced to give it to her when she was being kidnapped. Holy shit! Immediate. That is anger in Jinshi's voice. That, damn, he immediately was like, oh shit, I can't be acting like that. Yeah, that wasn't very Jinshi the eunuch of you. That was a very, like, deep, manly, like, angry yell. I'm looking for the freckled lady in waiting, the one working for the Jade Pavilion. Oh fuck! Oh my god, she sees the previous emperor. I mean, they do look fucking identical. It's pretty crazy how identical Jinshi looks to both Odd Duo and the previous emperor. It's kind of insane how much he looks like both of them. The current emperor's genes did not win at all. He looks nothing like his father. He looks everything like his mother and his grandfather. She's probably gonna be terrified because knowing that she is one of the people that he fucked with. But dude, Jinshi looks identical to him. I have recalled an old memory. Oh, this is her when she was a kid. He called my name with such a gentle voice. Oh my god. I guess nobody knows what he looked like when he was young. He was completely different during his final years. You look just alike him. Your face like a beautiful god. This is such a twisted scene. Oh my god. See, it's just... It's so difficult because Shinlu is actively helping like Suide and everything like that, like with their plot, but at the same time, god, everything that happened to her, I can't not feel horrible for her. I can't not feel terrible. Why is someone of your status holy shit! Seeing Jinshi's face up close like that, she just picked apart who he actually is, just like that. The way the music cut out instantly there, that was crazy. When this episode's already nuts. Holy shit. That got Jinshi stunned. He's just fucking locked in place. Whoa! No, that was just straight up distilled. Oh my god. No, someone fucking... I need to make her throw up. Oh my god, that fucked him up badly. Yes, thank you. Make her throw up. Dude, that got him so out of it. It's not a casual insult, though. Yeah, it's not a casual insult. She was right on the money. Well, to be fair, she probably assumes that he is the previous emperor's child and not that he is the current emperor's child, but still, they are of the same lineage. She went pale when she saw me smile at her. Do I look like him? Yeah. You do, Jinshi. He had black hair, like your father does. You look more like your mother. I didn't look like my mother or my brother. Is Jinshi about to put together that he's actually Aduo's kid? Because it is true, you don't look anything like you don't look anything like Anshi or like the current emperor. You look nothing like either of them. You look everything like the previous emperor and Aduo. Your father's genes did not win out in the slightest. I wonder where he got his looks from. So yeah, because basically everybody, Mao literally said a couple episodes ago, and it's been pretty apparent, people who come in here do not stay here for long typically. They work their tenure and then they're out. It's pretty cut and dry. You don't stay here that long. And so people filter out of here pretty frequently. And so the only people who remember what the previous emperor looked like when he was young are the women at the clinic, because they're not allowed to leave. They are the only people who would know what the previous emperor looks like, and it seems that Jinshi doesn't visit the clinic often or doesn't really go there, and so none of them have had an opportunity to really look at him in the face and like really see how much he looks like the previous emperor when the previous emperor was younger. Given the emperor's taste, it couldn't be the empress, not at her age. So when everyone's saying he's an illegitimate child, I mean, no, that's not right. He's not an illegitimate child because he's not the previous emperor's child at all. He's Duo and the current emperor's child. I tried to escape the position of crown prince. So Jinshi is the one who begged the current emperor to let him take on a eunuch's identity. Wow. All for what? They're gonna see which grave. They're finally gonna show us which grave she was looking at, like what the writing is on it. Translate it, damn it. Fucking translate it. What does it say? Stop doing this to me. Someone please say what this grave says. I'm about to lose my mind. I can only do what I can do. Toho. That's not a name we've ever heard before. Name of the court lady. Back it up. The name of a court lady who passed away last year. Wasn't there a thing about a court lady passing away? I think I might have misunderstood something in episode 10. There was something about a court lady passing away in episode 10 as well, that Hong Yang was telling Mao Mao and Yingfa. Wasn't she saying something like the person who organized that event had passed away a year ago? But then I gotta go back to episode 10, hold up. I gotta read what Hong Yang was telling them again. Things could happen when the organizer is new. The court lady who organized that event passed away last year. I was a little worried about who was taking over for this year. She's a nice person, very helpful. I got a lot of help from her as well. So what? Is this supposed to imply that she was an actual ghost they were talking to? That Mama Suide is dead? But that's not... This series is not supernatural. She's not an actual ghost. Did she fake her death? Because she was most definitely there. She did disappear weirdly after Mama like opened up the windows and everything like that, and she said, "Oh, I was so close to." Let's get what her line was before she up and disappeared. Yeah, she literally like, "I was so close," and then it's like it looks like she's a ghost. What the fuck? This series is not a supernatural series, so what the fuck is going on? Let me get the rest of what Hon Ying says. Got a lot of help from her as well. I guess she never got to leave the rear palace. She actually had relations with the late emperor. What? You're telling me that she's supposed to be dead? But then what the fuck? She said that gathering was the only fun she ever had. Too bad if the event ended the very next year after she passed away. So Hong Yang is basically assuming that someone new took over, and the reason Yingfa is freaking out is because the person there wasn't a new person. But Hong Yang fully... I'm so confused now. Cause what? This series isn't a supernatural series. She wasn't a ghost. That's not possible. And there's no feasible way they were all hallucinating the same ghost sitting there. So, what the fuck is the explanation for that? Toho. She has to have... But then both Suide and Shenlu were there paying respects to her grave in particular. Or that grave well, it has to be her grave. Okay. I'm very confused now. I feel like I'm missing something. This is so bizarre. If she was supposed to have, because now there's here, I'm assuming that her name was Taiho. This lady. I'm assuming her name was Taiho, and that is her grave out there. But then what? I'm so confused. What? I'm so confused. This just threw everything I could have possibly thought of for the biggest loop. I think my theory still stands. I think this is Mama Suide, and all of the things that happened before did happen. What happened with the previous emperor happened. She then got pregnant from Shisho, had Suide, the illegitimate child Suide, and then she obviously couldn't leave the rear palace, so she was still here. But then you mean to tell me she's dead now? And the reason Yingfa's freaking out here, because it basically makes it sound like there's a ghost. Like the woman there telling them that story was a ghost. What the fuck? What? Or is this Hong Yang just fucking with them? But then no, because they're talking about a lady that died. Both Hong Yang and JINSHI now have both referenced a lady that died a year ago. And Mao Mao says it as if she was there too, so who is the lady that... So basically, okay, let me think about this like this. So could it be that basically the lady before, the lady that was in there telling stories to Mao Mao and Yingfa, there was a lady a year before who passed? That didn't make any sense. I'm so fucking confused. I'm gonna be so completely honest, guys. I have no idea. Let's just move on. Maybe it'll get cleared up. I have literally no fucking idea. Yeah, and then we go into the ghost stories thing. But they say she passed away a year ago. The lady waiting to one of the concubines. But they say she passed away a year... Was that Hong Yang just telling them like a horror story? Like she's not actually dead? But then now JINSHI is here saying she passed away a year ago, and it was definitely not a year ago that Mao Mao and Yingfa went here to listen to these stories. I'm so confused. Is it possible that she like completely lied? Her relatives were... Yep. This is the exact story that Anchi said in episode 9. So this is confirming my theories. This is literally finally confirming them. The lady from episode 10 was the lady from Anchi's story, Mama Suide, who this is the doctor that got exiled with her baby because the baby was a girl. She was forced to stay here, and then the rest is history. She later got impregnated by Shisho and had Suide. But then they're saying she's dead and has been dead for a year? Yet when Mao Mao and Yingfa went there to listen to the stories, seemed like she was perfectly alive to me. This is not a supernatural series. You're not about to get me and thinking, oh yeah, her ghost was there telling them stories. No, this is not a supernatural series. You're not about to get me. Only one person is related to Toho by blood. During the late Emperor's reign, she gave birth to a daughter after an affair with a doctor. But wait. Okay, wait, but oh, my brain hurts. What? Jinshi says it here. She gave birth to a daughter after an affair with a doctor. So the way Jinshi says it here, he says it as if it was an affair, but I don't believe that. I mean, I don't think so. But like, but then he goes, if that daughter was still alive and it shows a frame of Suide. But that doesn't make any sense. Suide would have to be pretty damn old by now for that to be the case. Like, Suide would have to be the same age as the current emperor for that to be the case. Right? Actually, she'd be older than the current emperor for that to be the case. That doesn't make any sense. That is not Suide. That cannot be Suide. Jinshi, either I'm being incredibly stupid or tricked right now, or Jinshi is wrong. And unless I've been tricked this entire time and Suide is way older than she appears, like she is like, because the Emperor is what, in his 30s or something? She's gotta be older than the Emperor. There's no way. I don't believe that. There's no way. This is... Because I know they talked about a daughter being exiled, but I was like, there's no... you guys even corrected me, because that was my original theory. I was like, the daughter that got exiled was Suide, but then you guys pointed it out. You guys were like, timeline-wise, Suide would have to be older than the current emperor, and I was like, oh, you guys are so right. That didn't make any fucking sense. So, no, that didn't make sense. This show's not about to try to convince me. No, I don't believe it. Unless I'm just way overthinking this, and I'm just like... That daughter, I'm gonna get all these frames here because a lot of shit flashes real quick. All the shots of Lolan, and then Shisui shows up right next to her. What clicked in your head, Jinshi? The Garnet Pavilion. That's straight. He's going straight to Lolan's place. So something has clicked in his head. But was I just wrong this entire time? I really thought I was onto something, but there's no way that Suide is the... I'm going insane! What is happening? I'm only 10 minutes into this episode. I've been recording for 40 minutes. Fuck, I feel like maybe I'm just misunderstanding what Jinshi is getting at here, but I'm so confused. Also, if he goes here right now, he's going to be interacting with a fake Lolan. The real one is at a completely different place right now. But maybe I should just wait for them to explain it, but I want to try to figure it out in my own brain before this. So, what Jinshi was trying to say here is that this story that Anshi said about the girl who got pregnant from the previous emperor, she claimed it was from the previous emperor, and then the daughter got exiled with a doctor, she was never allowed to leave. If Jinshi's trying to claim that this daughter is Suide, that doesn't make any fucking sense! Unless that daughter is Suide's mother. And that lady is Suide's grandmother. Oh, shit. Wait. So, okay. Let's think about it like this. Suide, that is not Mama Suide. Mama Suide was trapped here forever. After this. This, who I have been calling Mama Suide, but her name is actually Toho. Toho here, after what happened here, was barred from ever leaving the rear palace. What if this lady here grew up out, because she was exiled with his doctor, grew up outside of the rear palace, and then she had sex with Shisho, and she birthed Suide? That makes so much more sense than my theory. That makes so much more sense. The whole ghost thing with... Maybe I should be calling her Grandma Suide now, not Mama Suide. That's Grandma Suide. Toho here is Suide's grandma. I think that makes sense, right? Because, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. It's not Mama Suide. Toho is Grandma Suide. This right here is Mama Suide. This woman right here had sex with Shisho and birthed Suide. That's because logically, I guess I should have been putting this together. Logically, it makes no sense for Toho here to have hooked up with Shisho. It makes no sense because she was never allowed to leave the rear palace. Where would she have given birth without somebody noticing or somebody taking note of it? There's people watching everything that happens here in the rear palace. There's no fucking way she would have gotten away with getting like having sex with Shisho and having another child. There's no way she would have gotten away with that. The only thing that makes sense is Toho here. What happened with the previous emperor happened. She gave birth to the previous emperor's daughter, and then that daughter of the previous emperor had sex with Shisho later on. But see, JINSHI seems to believe here that it was a doctor after having an affair with a doctor. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think what Anshi said is true, that what she claimed, her daughter was of the previous emperor. I feel like that's probably true. It's not confirmed here. And honestly, this kind of pushes away from that fact, but I still think it's probably true. Anyway, that's not besides the point. Basically, this woman here, or this baby who grew up to be a woman, had a child with Shisho. Well, that's crazy. That would be, if what is said is true, that would be a daughter of the previous emperor. There'd be a daughter of the previous emperor having a child with Shisho, and then that child is Suide. He birthed after an affair. Okay. I think I get it. JINSHI is not saying Suide is that daughter. JINSHI is saying if that daughter is still alive, that daughter could have had Suide. That's what he's saying, I think. I think that is what JINSHI is saying. Okay, I'm really glad I stuck on this and really tried to hone in my thoughts on this, because I think that makes sense. I think. God, I could have been yapping here for like 20 minutes and I could still be wrong, but I think that makes sense. Let's just lay out a timeline here, okay? This is for my own peace of mind. Toho, has relations with the previous emperor, gives birth to the previous emperor's daughter, but the previous emperor doesn't want to claim the daughter. It's like, no, that's not mine. So the daughter gets exiled with a random doctor. They pin the doctor for being like, you had an affair with this court lady here. You had an affair with her. Get the fuck out. And they kick his ass out. That daughter is out. Toho is stuck in the rear palace for the rest of her life. So that daughter grows up outside of the rear palace. Maybe somehow finds out what her lineage is. Finds out that she is a child of the previous emperor. Has relations with Shisho. Has a child with Shisho. That's how Shisui and Suide are related. They're half-sisters still. That my theory about the half-sister thing still makes sense in this case. They're half-sisters. So Shisho has relations with Taiho's daughter. Suide is born, and then their plan is set in motion because of what happened with her mother, the fact that she was distanced from her mother and never allowed to see her, the fact that her mother was trapped in the rear palace for the rest of her life. All the motivations are still there. Every motivation for why Suide does what she does still makes sense. We just need to meet Suide's mother. I think my theory makes sense here. Toho is Suide's grandmother, not her mother. That is not Mama Suide, that is Grandma Suide. I think that makes sense. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I could be missing here? I think that makes sense. This is going to be a really long video, guys. I'm really sorry. It's been 50 minutes, and I am 10 minutes into this episode. This is going to be a really long video. I should have said at the beginning, strap the fuck in, because we still got a lot to go. And I will preface, God, I could be so wrong. You all most of you probably watched the reactions to early season 1. Yours truly can really get a lot of stuff wrong really easily, but I feel like what I'm saying here makes sense. I feel like what I'm saying here makes sense. Don't quote me, but I feel like it does. I could be so wrong. That daughter is still alive. JINSHI's off to the Garnet Pavilion. The shit is about to heat up. What you thinking, big man? Concubine that Toho served? The concubine that Toho served was later given to Shisho. She gave birth to a daughter. Oh shit. So the concubine that Toho used to serve is Shisha. What? Wait, that makes the interpersonal relationships here even more entangled. Whoa, that's crazy. We still haven't met Shisui's mother, Lolan's mother, and assumingly Shisho's wife. We still haven't met her, so that's why they've got her face blocked out here. But she's in the OP. That's crazy. So Toho, wow. So the previous emperor came to, we still don't know her name. We don't know Lolan's mother's name, so I'm just going to call her Mama Shisui. So Mama Shisui here, she served under her. The previous emperor went after Toho, and then after everything that happened with Toho was forced to stay in the rear palace. Mama Shisui, was then given to Shisho, to which they had Lolan. Holy shit! Daughter is concubine Lolan. As for the daughter of Toho and the doctor, there's no record of what happened to either her or the doctor. I think I'm right. That lady, the daughter and doctor that got exiled, that daughter ended up having another daughter with Shisho, who is Suide, who was ousted from the rear palace. Perhaps concubine Lolan knows where the doctor, but it's not. Lolan's not in right now. I think Jinshi is about to pin. He kind of did in his head. He had the image of Shisui and Suide, but I don't think he realizes that Lolan is not Lolan right now. He knows where the doctor and the daughter went. Interesting. I think if he can figure out what happened to the doctor and the daughter, he'll be able to pin who Suide is. It's just a hunch. There's no way to know if there's even a connection. This is so tense. Let's fucking go, Jinshi. He put on the smart cap. The high-pitched voice. And she's not speaking out loud. Yep, they all look the exact fucking same. She outfits in matching makeup with sharp points at the corners of their eyes. Makes them look like foxes. What? I accidentally went forward. I didn't mean to do that. Back it up an episode. Hold up. We're gonna go back to Fox Village here. Oh yeah, this is the previous episode. Oh, they're blocking it right there. Okay, pause it right there. Let's get a good frame of Shisui's face where her hair is not covering her face. Yeah, there's no mole there. I mean, if you needed any more confirmation, I already know. It's just interesting to look that this, because I never would have made that connection that Jinshi's making now, that's how he's gonna figure out who's who. But yeah, Shisui here, there's no, I mean, maybe no, it wouldn't be covered by her hair either. There's not a mole there. Yeah, I mean, once again, her hair could be covering it, but I don't see anything. Especially when she moves her hair like that. There's nothing there. They would have made that detail very prominent. I mean, I already knew this isn't her. Like, she's with Mao Mao right now, so this is not her. But still, this is how Jinshi's gonna figure it out. Jinshi's finally about to, I feel like they're about to make it blatantly obvious that, yeah, this ain't her. That Shisui is Lolan if you hadn't figured it out yet. Damn! Oh! You used to have 7 ladies in waiting. Where did the last one go? I keep track of the faces and names of all the ladies in waiting working here. He's basically saying, you're missing a lady in waiting. Oh, wait, could you be the lady in waiting? Basically, whenever Lolan is actually Lolan, and she's not running about as Shisui, she's here as Lolan, she has 8 ladies in waiting. In particular, that are close to her here. I'm pretty sure she has way more, but I'm assuming she has like ones that are closer to her. But, or used to have 7 ladies in waiting is what I mean. Yeah, you used to have 7, so there's typically 7, but whenever Lolan is out as Shisui, 1 takes her place, so there's only 6. Group changes outfits and makeup almost every day. She freaking the hell out. I made note of features that were easy to track. Let's fucking go, Jinshi! Shapes of your lips or eyes, and look at them all like hiding away now. The positions of your moles. That's crazy for Jinshi to keep track of that. Oh my god. This is planned. Oh, yup! Let's fucking go, Jinshi! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! I mean, I kind of feel bad because, to be fair, these ladies in waiting might not be in on the whole. I mean, they're seemingly the closest ones. They might be in on the whole scheme, but at the same time, they might just be being forced to do this. To be fair, it's not like they're part of the big grand scheme, even if they know what's going on. They're probably just being forced to do this shit. Also, realize my collar's been tucked in this entire time. That's a bad look. Anyway, holy fuck, what a frame. Jinshi, man. As soon as it clicked in his head and he was like, you're not fucking Lolan, where the hell is she? Where the fuck is she and where the fuck is Mao Mao? Oh, I love this energy so fucking much. Look at that smile, dude. That is a terrifying grin. He's on fucking demon time and I love it. Jinshi is literally shaking. That is how mad he is. Jinshi is quaking. Also, him saying this was planned all along. Like, this was, oh my god, man, crazy. Bringing in a huge number of servants. Yep. So it'd be hard to keep track of who's who, and like, so it'd be much easier to swap out and everything like that. Selecting similar looking women to serve her. The strange outfits, like I said a couple episodes ago, the outfit thing of them constantly changing outfits is not because Lolan's pregnant or something. It's so it's harder to keep track of them. Constantly having them switch outfits means it's harder to identify when it's actually Lolan and when it's one of her ladies in waiting. It's easier to disguise them if you're constantly changing outfits, constantly changing makeup and things like that. All for this. Oh my god. Whoa! Oh my god! I mean, yeah, it's like I said, this lady in waiting here is claiming that Renpu knows nothing. She's just being put in the spot of Lolan to be just to be there, because obviously they need someone to take her place. Like I said, who knows how much these ladies in waiting actually know about what's going on. They're just following orders, was my guess. Or maybe some of them know more than others, etc, etc. We're probably about to find that out. But holy fuck, Jinshi. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude! This is fucking nuts. Then you better start fucking talking. Well, you sound like you know something. Speak! You said Renpu doesn't know anything. What the fuck do you know? Talk! Only that she wouldn't be returning. Yup, that's not supposed to happen. Oh my god, is this everybody from the Garnet Pavilion? They've all locked them into this one area together. Everybody on lockdown here. There's Renpu there, yeah. So that's crazy. He literally he said everybody in this fucking pavilion is getting in this one building and nobody is leaving. I mean, it makes sense. He's not gonna give them a chance to go and tell anybody what's going on, that he's onto them or anything. Unable to locate concubine Lolan. Oh! Damn, Jinshi's like, I'm stripping you of that fucking position. She must have planned this knowing that. Bring the daughter of a high-ranking official into the rear palace. There's a deal that benefits the emperor as well. Trap them in the birdcage that is the rear palace as a hostage. I still think Jinshi's off here. Because it feels to me like there's no way Shisho's not in on the plan that's going on right now. It feels to me 1000% like he knows that Shisui and Lolon are a part of this plan. He knows that. There's no way he doesn't know that. Wonder how it was from Mao Mao. One time it's like a courtesan trying to Yeah, she was kidnapped, man. They kidnapped her. Like I said, if only these people knew the plot going on, they would immediately know why Mao Mao is the one being kidnapped. They would immediately know. I've said this in like every episode as of late. Mao Mao could not be a bigger thorn in their side. Their plan is to assassinate all the people close to the current emperor, maybe even the current emperor himself, and usurp the throne. Yeah, Mao Mao has been the biggest thorn in their side. She saved Ling Li, Gyokyo's baby, saved Gyokyo's life herself, has saved Gyokyo to the point where Gyokyo's about to have another baby, saved Li Hua from getting her baby aborted, saved Li Hua from dying. That's several things that she's done. She saved Jinshi's life twice, because back when, during the ritual thing, when the thing was about to fall on him, she saved him from that. And then when they were on the trip at Shisho's place, if Mao Mao hadn't gone out to get Jinshi and drag him somewhere else, they probably would have shot and killed Jinshi while he was out there and while he was dehydrated and not in a good state of mind and stuff like that. Jinshi probably would have died out there. That's a second time Mao Mao has saved his life. I mean, at every turn, Mao Mao has thwarted their plans countless times. So yeah, if only Jinshi could click in his head. Obviously, he doesn't know that their plan, what their bottom line plan is. If he did, he'd know why they want Mao Mao immediately. It's the same thing for Mao Mao. She's like been questioning why the hell she was the one that was kidnapped. If she just thought about it for a second and thought about the bottom line, about what their plan is, which maybe Mao Mao will figure out here soon, yeah, she'd know immediately why. She'd know immediately. Uh-oh. Oh god, Lacan found out. Okay, so it took a minute. It took several days, but now Lacan knows. I think we might be getting a Lacan Jinshi team up here, maybe. Oh my god! I love Lacan, man. Is he gonna go straight to— oh my god! I was not expecting this random bit of comedy to be inserted. He was trying to keep it away from him. Oh my god. I mean, yes, they're absolutely colluding together. What is this leading to? It feels like now they're— they tried to get Mao Mao out of there and keep things hush-hush, but very quickly things are unraveling. Jinshi is figuring things out really quickly, which is really bad for them. So what is their plan going forward? I don't know. She okay? Good. Is everyone in the clinic a part of this? Okay, really? None of the others in the clinic knew about this. It was only Shinlu. Okay, that makes my theory about Anshi knowing nothing is going on even more probable. Anshi was probably— in all honesty, Anshi was probably here helping them all work out their feelings. In all honesty, Anshi was probably like a therapist here for these people, because she visited often. She probably associated with all of them and is good friends with all the women here. She probably helped a lot of them through their experiences and things like that. So a lot of them, like the contentment and resentment that Mao Mao had said she felt building up, a lot of them probably don't have that anymore because of Anshi. I bet you that's why Anshi did this in the first place. She did it, number one, to give them a purpose, but number two, so she could keep them in a place to like talk to them and help them work things out. That's the kind of person Anshi is. That feels very much like Anshi to me. And yeah, that feels very much like Anshi. And that's why none of the others knew and only Shinlu knew, because only one of them was involved. And that's why that makes sense that Anshi wouldn't know either, because only Shinlu knew. Yet they helped her. Wait, what? Wait, what? What do you mean they helped her? Well, they just said none of the others knew about it. But they helped her? What does that mean? What do you mean they helped her? Be more specific. There's directed toward the rear palace itself. Yeah, they're gone, Jinshi. I really worry how you're gonna get this information because they're gone. Like gone. It really makes I really wonder if them kidnapping Mao Mao, it's like it feels like because they went to a village, it really felt like Shisui had no intention of coming back in the first place. Like Suide is gone, Shisui is gone. The way everything's panning out, it really felt like Shisui was going to be gone for an extended period of time and didn't really have any intention of coming back anytime soon. So I don't know what their plan is now. I don't get it. Because now things are unraveling super quickly. Shisho had to dip because they would pin him for Lolan disappearing. I mean, this got really bad for them really quickly. Or could this be all a part of their plan? I have no idea what's going on now. Because their whole plan was to eat the rear palace up from the inside out and like have the concubines die, children die, the things like their children die and things like that. That was their plan, but they can't do that anymore because they've been ousted. Everybody who could be involved is being ousted really, really quickly. Lacan. Oh, this is the adopted son, right? Yeah. Which is technically Lacan's nephew, right? Because I saw he stands by Lacan in the opening, so it's most definitely I think it's him. He's got the hair too, right? I can only think of this really being one person because that they're not showing his face. An abacus. Yep. Yeah, it's him. This is Lacan's adopted son. They talked about him real early in season 1. The only reason I remembered that detail is because I thought for the longest time Suide dressing up as a man was the adopted son in question in season 1. So that's why I still remember that detail. Kan Lahan. It's a courtesy name historically given by the imperial family. Yeah, there you go, the strategist adopted son. See, journal for the National Treasury. Ends it well with him that we can't find where the Feifa came from. The original documents, but they got a bit lengthy. This guy talks a lot like Lacan. They are definitely, I guess it'd be uncle and nephew. Eggs are based on the most obvious ones. Prices of metals. Yes. Yes, he is. Already, this guy, Lahan, seems like the splitting image of Lacan. The splitting image? The spitting image. Price of metals means someone is buying a lot of them. Is Shiso like trying to mass produce these Feifas or something? This guy is already very interesting. Let's know where all this is flowing. This scene is intense, man. Immediate dog ears. Why is he sweating so much? Appears for the gate in the Oh my god! That's what that big explosion was! At the destination of this trail of money and metal. Damn, seems like them kidnapping Mao Mao was the biggest mistake they could have made. Either it was the biggest mistake they could have made because all of their plans are unfoiling now really badly, or it was all part of their plan in the first place. I don't know which it is. It's really bothering me. Because I feel like there's no way they'd make a blunder like this, given how incredibly smart Suide is and stuff. There's no way they'd make a blunder like this by kidnapping Mao Mao and then having everything in the rear palace that they were building up fall apart. I feel like there's no way they make a blunder that badly. But then again, it's also the thing of like, if Mao Mao hadn't left that note, then probably nothing would have happened in the first place. They would have kept trying to look for what happened to Mao Mao, but there would have been no trails on what happened to her even remotely. And so I don't know which it is. I really don't know which it is, because their plan, if Mao Mao hadn't left that note, would have been perfect. They would have got Mao Mao the hell away from there, and everything would have kept moving along, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Jinshi looking real intense. Oh, I thought we were about to end the episode. Oh, hello, Mao Mao. Seems like she's been given a nice room. They're not holding her hostage or anything, because once again, it's the same thing of like, it's not like she can go anywhere anyway. She took one of the masks that they were looking at because there's some festival that's about to happen. Maybe that'll be next episode. Damn, what a good ass episode, dude. Holy shit. This reaction's like an hour 20 minutes long. The back half of this season has been insane. And like all these long reactions, I hope it comes off as like proof that I'm loving this. This whole arc of Apothecary Diaries is by far my favorite in the entire show. Like I really like the Lacan stuff at the end of season 1, and obviously all the other mini arcs and things like that are good, but this long running arc here that is picked and pinned, like everything from the beginning of this season, like every episode has had a part of the reveals here in this second half. It's been fucking incredible. This is definitely my favorite part of this series so far. Every episode has been so good. Seriously incredible episode. The reveals in this one were utterly insane. I think I am right on the stuff about Toho being Suide's grandmother. I think I am right about that. I don't know what else it could be, like feasibly. I don't know what else it could be. But now this still brings me to my line of questioning. I feel like there's no way Shisui and Suide and Shisho have cooked up this plan to kidnap Mao Mao, and like they were working with the envoys and everything like that. I mean, Mao Mao's already foiled countless of their plans, but I feel like there's no way. I don't know. I just don't know now. I don't know whether to say this was a huge blunder on their part and all of their shit is all of their plans and everything are falling apart now that Lolon has been exposed, Shisho's on the run. I mean, it feels like everything, all of their plans and everything are falling apart, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like they're way too smart to just like have this all collapse like this. But also, I really don't know. I have so many questions, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into the next episode. This was incredible. So many huge reveals. I got my timeline corrected. It's not Mama Suide from episode 10. It is Grandma Suide Toho from episode 10. I mean, so much insane stuff went down this episode. Jinshi like screaming was crazy. That whole scene was so goddamn intense. And yeah, Jinshi, this is a whole episode of Jinshi investigation, so my guess is what that little scene at the end there, we're gonna be hopping back to Mao Mao and this festival she's gonna be attending next episode. So also very interesting to finally meet the adopted son. They mentioned him like all the way back in either like early or later season 1, so interesting for him to be brought into the story now of all times. I think we might have seen him 1 or 2 times in season 1 as well, but he would never like talked or anything like that, I don't think. But he is very, very much like Lacan. they are eerily similar. So it's very cool to see him, Lahan, finally play a part in this. And then yeah, Shinlu recognizing Jinshi as like a descendant, like a direct descendant of the previous emperor because of how eerily similar they look. Yeah, crazy episode, man. So yeah, I think that is gonna wrap it up my reaction. This is now, no joke, I'm looking over here at my OBS. This is the longest single episode reaction I have ever recorded. So that's crazy. I think my previous one was like an Orgire episode, which was like an hour and like 13 minutes. Yeah, the raw footage for this one is an hour and 22 minutes. So we broke that record. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I think that is going to wrap it up for my reaction to the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 18. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.